Hello and welcome to Stateside. Oh, my sound's not working properly. Hello, I hope you can hear me. It looks like I'm having some kind of dropout with my sound. Let me know if the sound is working in the chat. Things are coming up a bit weird on my screen here. Looks like Brenna's getting a call. No, Brenna can't be with us, unfortunately, tonight. So we're just waiting on Mikey. So you're watching Stateside, where we normally talk to a tamed American. And tonight, we're running a little bit late. Mikey's not here at the moment. And I'm sure he'll let me know. I'm sure he'll let me know when he's ready to get going. But in the meantime, let's just chat amongst ourselves. So who we got? We've got Vendetta saying, I was late this morning. Oh, disgraceful Vendetta. I'm never late. We've also got Captain Bart Roberts. I was born late. Mum went in labour on the 5th of April. And had I been born before midnight, the old man would have been able to get a tax rebate for the prior year. I've been late ever since. Oh my God, I can't believe your parents told you that. They were like, I could have had a tax rebate if it wasn't for you. Ah, parents. Yoni, thank you very much for the message there. This is totally not a political TikTok. This is a somber occasion of great gravitas. MAGA. So we're going to talk a little bit about Trump and his campaign. And here's the thing, right? Which I was going to talk to Mikey about, but when he gets it, come on, Mikey, if you're watching, hurry up. Here's the thing. We've got 2 months until the election. It happens on November the 5th. And in that time, it doesn't matter what Trump does at all. Like, he can literally shoot someone dead on Fifth Avenue and he will not lose a single vote. That is something that he once bragged about, but it is absolutely, stunningly and terrifyingly true. Oh, my buffering. That's no good. Why is it buffering? It shouldn't be buffering. It's saying it's not saying it's dropped any frames. Richard, that might be maybe your internet. I don't know. Is it buffering for anyone else? Are we getting any buffering, the Vampire Slayer? Let me know. So the point being that Colin Thompson, who's in New York, could witness Trump shoot someone dead on Fifth Avenue, and Colin, quite rightly, like any normal person, would be absolutely horrified by this and demand that he goes to jail. Whereas the Trump fanatics, the 44% of the American population that are planning to vote for this monster, they will cheer harder. Kamala Harris hasn't got that. She has got 2 months in which she cannot make a single mistake, not a single gaffe, not a single foot wrong. And I think that's going to be very difficult. I think we're in for an October surprise. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer about all this, but she has a mountain to climb, because it's all very well her being ahead in all of the polls. First of all, you got shy Trump voters who tell the pollsters, can't never vote for a man like that, and then they get into the voting booth and go hee 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 and vote for him. You don't really get shy Democrats. You don't get shy Kamala supporters. But you do get shy Trump supporters who don't want to let their friends, neighbours, pollsters know that they're going to vote for Trump. And in 2016, we saw that at the time, the statistics website, 538, was giving Trump about a 10% chance of winning and Hillary Clinton a 90% chance of winning. And Hillary Clinton lost that election. It was a bit more even in who they thought was going to win in the 2020 election, because obviously they were a little bit more cautious. And it was about 60-40. However, the actual polls that were coming in had Biden about 8 points ahead of Trump, but he only won by about 4 points in the end. Now, Kamala is about 4 points ahead nationally, and in those crucial swing states, it's less than that. So this is the worry, right? First of all, the gap's not quite big enough, and it seems to have leveled off. It was getting bigger and bigger until about a week ago, and now it's sort of, we're getting parallel lines where we were getting a divergence between Trump and Kamala Harris. And then you've also got this issue that if she makes one mistake, that could be it for her campaign. So they are literally walking on eggshells now, and the rest of the world has to sort of take a little bit of a breath and, worry about what might happen if Trump actually gets in, which, Could happen. Could happen. My mum has entered the chat. Hi, Mum. How you doing? We've got Vendetta in there saying, yeah, I've been having issues sleeping and neighbour woke me up at 6:30 on Sunday and kept banging around for at least an hour and a half. No Buffy. My God, what the hell? No buffering here, says Yoni over in Finland. See, amazing internet in Finland. Amazing education system and internet. They just go hand in hand. So I'll tell you where else they've got an amazing internet. Brazil. Because there's no Twitter on it anymore. Oh, Captain Bob, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. She seems very capable of pulling the Ming Vase manoeuvre off. Thanks very much for that, mate. That's very kind of you. I'll give you a little super chat animation. It's going right across my face because it's supposed to be set up to go between me and Mikey, who's still not here. I think I'll just send him a quick message saying, you coming or what? Right. Yeah. Anyway, so meanwhile, Sarah's saying, hi, Graham's mum. Duke Vengeance saying, I feel so on edge. So do I. And I don't... look, it's not like we're sitting here resting on our levels going, oh, God, Harris is going to just walk this. She's amazing. I really like her. I really liked Hillary Clinton. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with her. I had the same sort of feeling about her as I do about Meghan Markle. Like, I don't understand what the problem is. They seem like reasonable people. They seem to have the heart in the right place. But apparently, according to the mainstream media, we're supposed to hate these people, these women, because reasons, which they're never tangible. They're never like, she did this and it was awful. It's always like, I just don't like her. We had that about Hillary Clinton. We had that about Meghan Markle. However, we haven't had that about Harris. Not that I've seen. I haven't seen people just saying, oh, I just don't like her. And I think one of the really positive things about the campaign, the Harris-Waltz campaign so far, has been the positivity of it. The fact that they are laughing and smiling and presenting this positive vision of the country. And it's one thing that I think that Trump is incapable of, is that kind of boosterism, is that making people feel good about themselves. Trump just makes people feel angry. Well, I guess I'll take that back. He makes people who are racist and horrible, he makes bigots feel good about the fact that they're bigots. He makes Nazis feel good about being Nazis, but he doesn't make the ordinary person in the street feel particularly good about the state of America, for instance. He's going on all the time about how there's no money and no jobs and how everything is all just so freaking awful. Clinton had one of those buttery males. Her husband leaves a lot to be desired. Dark 4x4, what happens if come inauguration day a new president cannot be determined? We may be about to find out. 2016, but Donk is playing swing states better, says GC. I don't see GC as being completely wrong in that. Simon Smith, the Americans from RAF men with Hill North Yorks can't understand why the UK dislikes Trump, because he's an absolute nightmare. I mean, the man incited a riot into the American Parliament building, which resulted in the deaths of 9 people. 2 of them were coppers. He's a cop killer. I mean, why is there any difference between him and some gangster mafia boss who orders their henchmen to go out and kill a couple of police officers? There's no difference to me. He's a murderer. He's a rapist, an adjudicated rapist. He brags about his sexual offending. He is wanted in 4 different states for 4 different major crimes, over 90 counts of criminality. And he just walks around like, butter wouldn't melt in his ugly goddamn mouth. And he is Teflon Don. And I think that this is a big worry for the Harris campaign, is that he can literally get away with murder, whereas Harris can't put a foot wrong. Polling has changed since. Well, when we talk about the swing states as well, don't forget, in 2016, we were watching what Trump did and going, what the hell's he doing? He was going to events like rallies in states that they were going to win anyway. And it was like, why isn't he going to the places that he needs to win? Why is he going to like Wyoming? Like, they're going to vote for him anyway. What's the point of that? But he still won. We said, oh, he's not going to win after this Access Hollywood tape, you know. They said he said he liked to sexually assault women, and you can get away with it when you're rich. I mean, what an obnoxious, horrible thing to say. But millions upon millions of mothers in America, mothers with daughters, looked at this man, looked at what he said and thought, yeah, he's the man to run this country. Of course I'd leave him alone with my teenage daughter. Why wouldn't I? That's really scary. That's really, really scary. Harris seems a little bit lukewarm on the green transition, says one angry pagan. Well, I think she's learned since when she said in 2016 that she does not want fracking, that you don't get in if you piss off the oil giants, the fossil fuel companies, the merchants of death in America. It's a bit like going after guns in America in the lead up to an election. It's just, can we talk about something else? Because you know that they will use their entire might against you winning. And we're already seeing it with Trump. I mean, you know, his campaign's not doing too well at the moment. Seriously, it's not doing too well in terms of finance. But there are a lot of billionaires like Peter Thiel, like Elon Musk and other knobheads who you know, want him to win because they know that if he does, it's going to be deregulation for all, a bonfire of workers' rights. These creepy, weird conservatives are going to come into your bedroom and tell you you're doing it wrong. They're going to take children away from their parents because they don't think those people should be allowed to be parents because of who they fell in love with. They're going to make life hell for pretty much all the minorities in America, which freaks me out when you see people from a minority who support Trump, and you're like, well, you're just making it hard for yourself. Like Peter Thiel, for instance, is gay. So isn't that going to be a big problem, considering Project 2025 that the conservatives in America want to get push through? Isn't that going to be a problem? No, not for him. He's a multi-millionaire. Billionaire. He's a multi-billionaire. He can do what he likes. The rules are for the little people. Once again, we see that there's one rule for them and one rule for the rest of us. George says aunties insulted US veterans. Well, let's get into that. So this is the whole thing that Trump has gone to Arlington National Cemetery, which is where the soldiers who died in wars or soldiers who have come home and subsequently died after the war are buried. And it's a place of quiet reflection, grief, mourning, respect. And he's there on the campaign trail 2 months before an election, giving a goofy little thumbs up with his little tiny lizard hand. And I'm looking at this going, what? How? That would be bad enough. But what we've heard is that his team had an altercation with someone who worked in the cemetery who said, you can't be using this as a photo op. And do you know what it reminds me of? Remember that time that Boris Johnson was cornered in a hospital by a doctor, and the doctor said to him, how dare you use this as a photo opportunity? And he said, I'm not using it as a photo opportunity. He said, why are there photographers? Why is someone filming this? Same thing happened with Trump. And why is there a photographer here? And some of the people whose names are on the graves that you can clearly see in the photograph, I don't even know it's on the thumbnail. I've forced them out just in case, blurred them out just in case they didn't want their names associated with that picture. I think it's a bit disrespectful. I think it's really disrespectful. And to go that far, that he would do that. And yet, you've got veterans and families of veterans who are buried in Arlington going, no, I still love Trump. He can literally do no wrong. That's terrifying. I think the most terrifying thing about the whole Trump thing is just how much of a religious cult it is. An absolute cult. It's the Jonestown cult, but like just on a whole nother level. Oh, I just heard a ding dong in my ear. So that means that we might have a Mikey Famine. Ooh, I think we do. Hello, Mikey Famine. Hello. How you doing, mate? That's all right. Where were you? All my show? Oh, sorry, mate. You see, this is what happens. This is what happens when you've got like actual responsibilities in life, isn't it? God damn it. Anyway, so just to fill you in, I've been talking about Trump, and I was just talking about Arlington Cemetery and talking about how his team had an altercation with a female member of staff. I didn't say it was a female member of staff. They pushed her around. Yeah. But if this is what Trump can do, yeah. Your sound's not coming through. Let me just sort that out. Sorry, everyone at home. Trying to find out what the hell has happened to Mikey's voice. We will get it back for you. Do you want to say something? Say something, Mikey. I can't even hear you now. Tell me what you have for breakfast. No, that's not the right one. Okay. No, that's not working either. Try that. Is that working? Okay, hang on a sec. Oh, why isn't this bloody working? Right. No, I can't even hear you now. That sucks. Okay, right. Everyone's just going to have to sit tight while I try and sort out. No. You don't need to leave and come back. It's okay. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Shit. I need you to talk so I can hear you. Go on. Keep talking. Yeah, just tell me. Tell me what you had. Tell me what you had for lunch today. Sorry that no one else can hear this. Just 1 second, everyone. I'm getting this sorted. Trust me. For a moment.
We're not.
Okay. Oh, hello. What's happened there?
They're missing out.
The mic isn't working.
This is the real show.
Can you hear me now? No. I've got to reload the page. Oh my God. This is embarrassing. Okay. Right. Mikey, are you there? And can you hear me?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can.
Right. Can the people at home hear you? Say something.
Yes.
Oh, good. Yes, they can hear you. Oh, thank God for that. Right. Okay. Right. Back to what we were talking about. I was just saying that Trump can get away with murder. Is there anything? Mikey's in Chicago, by the way. What time's it over there at the moment? It's like 3 o'clock.
2:30.
2:30. Oh, that's not. I wasn't far out. Is there anything that Trump could do you think, at this point, that would have a serious effect on his polling numbers?
I think he's doing a pretty good job on his own. Thank you, JD Vance. I was kind of worried there for a little bit. I was like, man, they might pull this together. No, they're not. Not with that guy. I mean, between him being sweaty and confused, he's losing numbers. He's just always too hot now. The orange isn't quite popping like it used to. It's not sticking because of the sweat. It's just his general slug form is very unattractive to people, it would seem. This seasonal molt that he does to get to live forever, like some sort of ancient reptilian at the bottom of a lake somewhere. It's not cute, and people aren't liking it. And now
really?
He's pissed off the evangelicals now because he's talking about the IV. He wants to give IVF to everybody in America who wants it, apparently.
But I thought he wanted to take that away from everyone.
Which is not what the evangelicals like. But you got Slug Grandpa out there freestyling off the top of the dome. It's not going great. He's not good at it.
He likes to do that.
He's not good at it.
He does babble on. Jabba the Trump, says Anthony Fisher. Thank you very much, Puninator. For the £5 super chat. Late start, audio problems. I can see those Musk live streaming classes have been paying off, Graham. Well, You say that, but the thing is, normally before the show, we make sure the mic's working. So if we have to
That's
do
my fault. That's
the
my fault.
technical
I'll take
things
it. I'll
halfway
take
through
it.
the show. But, Mikey didn't know baby was going to be, crying. So
Hey, look, she
these
went
things happen.
down, man. So we made it. Hey,
Yeah.
took us a second, but we got there.
These are
But yeah,
the
lady,
worldy cough
but
drops.
the lady won't even like come forward because she thinks the Trumpers are gonna come for her and just, or maybe not like directly like violence, but they're gonna ruin her life.
Yeah,
Like they're
which
just gonna
they tried to
they're
do
gonna
with
be
the jury in his trials, the people in the grand jury,
or those election workers.
Yeah,
Ms.
the election
Ruby.
workers had their lives ruined.
Yeah, just ruined. And who wants to do that? That lady was at work. You know what I mean? Like she was doing what she's probably been doing for quite some time. She knows that, I don't care about you, little Chester Cheeto. No one cares that you're special. Okay. It doesn't even matter that the families allow you in there.
Yeah.
Dude, like every time we think that there's like a new low bar, here he goes. Like the John McCain comments. How does any military Republican vote for that asshole?
Yeah.
How?
Okay, all right. I completely get that, but they do.
I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me, at least. I mean, if it was Colin Kaepernick who had said that about about John McCain, or if Colin Kaepernick was strutting around the Arlington National Cemetery making TikToks, I wonder how they would treat him.
Well, especially if he was kneeling down.
Yeah, if he knelt at Arlington Cemetery,
how dare you kneel?
George Bush would explode. just light and steam, just he would ascend to a higher plane out of fury.
Emma Price, thank you very much for the super chat. Emma's saying,
Emma.
I just watched the documentary by Midas Touch, Against All Enemies. That scared me. This is why he's making no effort. And that does come across, Mikey. He does look like he just doesn't give a shit anymore because he knows he's going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, I think the problem is now he's not worried about winning because he's been convinced that they have another plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about the votes because we're not going to try to actually win the electoral college fair and square anyway. Like, they got their little schemes and tricks, and they're going to try to throw people off the voter rolls, and they're going to try to dog and slow walk the certifications, and they're getting their own people in there so that they can say, well, I would like a 400-year audit so that we'll never know. That, like, they're all about that bullshit. They want to tie everything up so that we get into this 12th Amendment contingent election bullshit, wherefore the Senate will select the vice president and the House selects the president. Every state gets one vote. And if a state is in contention, like they can't agree on something, that state gets skipped. It gets put to the end, and then they'll do the contention at the end. And it's the first of 26 states. So that's the plan. They're putting people in. That's why he doesn't care about how his polling is and all that shit is, because they're going to try to go around the entire process. There you go, Project 2025.
Yeah, they've been quite open about what they plan to do. What have the Democrats been doing to combat this, to make sure that they don't do this? Because at the moment, I'm sorry, but it doesn't look like they've done fuck all, really.
Well, 90% of it is extrajudicial. So, you know what I mean? Like, how do I make a law against something that you're not allowed to do already? You know what I mean? Like, they're not allowed to just fire all of the department heads from all of the department. Like, I mean, I guess he technically could be, but that's so contrary to, the system working, that no one's ever really put in a law that says don't fire everybody in the government.
Yeah.
Right. We shouldn't have to put that. Like, you shouldn't have like instructions on Pop-Tarts, but apparently some people need help. I doubt that they're going to get anything through, especially with Marjorie Taylor Greene and the rest of her minions running around yelling banana and trying to impeach everything that's slower than them.
Okay. All right. Okay. I get that. But okay, here's my question, right? They've given the President of the United States, which is currently Joe Biden, a blank check to do whatever the fuck he wants to anyone and claim presidential immunity.
Why doesn't he go bonkers? Because he doesn't even remember what day it is. He doesn't
Well,
even
exactly.
know.
That's even better. You'll say, "Good morning, Joe. And remember, today you agreed that you're going to lock up all of the Supreme Court justices in Guantanamo Bay."
Yes.
And you go, "Okay, was I going to do that?" Yeah, that's what you're going to do, Joe.
If we wrote it in ice cream cones in the White House front yard, maybe we'd have a chance. He's just, I don't know. And it's the same thing with that. Like, there's a lot of like progressives and like younger people are finding themselves less liberal and more progressive because it's like we don't necessarily want our American democracy to just fall apart. We just want it to be functional. We want it to work. We want it to not be we don't want the American empire. We don't want interests overseas. We don't want vassal states. That's not our thing. We've kind of been dicked over by terrorist attacks and school shootings and drug waves and now a pandemic. Like, we're kind of done with cleaning up old white dudes' messes. So this will be more, this next generation, I feel, is going to be a lot more restorative, a lot more infrastructure getting done, a lot more government jobs to get public works stuff done. This Green New Deal isn't like the AOC. That's the eventuality. If people want to take credit for it, our country needs work. Like, some places are great, a lot of places are not above par. So we need some serious reinvestment in the country. And I think the next generation, the next wave of politicians, at least, they're going to be a lot more domestically focused. And petty issues whose bathroom I have to, like, no one cares about that shit.
Hang on, when is this going to happen though? Because if Trump gets in, there are not going to be any more elections.
Yeah, he's got to do it though.
There are going to be appointments.
I mean, you got JD Vance. He's got eyeliner for days. He's going to be hitting the stump trail, screwing things up. They're not even on the same page as far as abortion anymore. They can't agree on things. As long as they keep running this campaign, this is great. Keep it up. So I'm really excited for the debates. The debates is kind of what's gonna, I think a lot of people will start to see what a lot of us, because all of us we're poliophiles. Like, we're always into the news.
Politics wonks.
And we can't say that here without a beep. We're in a bubble, and it's hard for us to realize that, because a lot of people just care who's on Dancing with the Stars. They just care about, episode of Big Brother. Like, this isn't their thing. It's about to be their thing, because all of us are about to make 1 billion clips and put it all over social media after this debate. That's gonna solve a lot of this. And I think a lot of people will start to see a reason when his greasy ass can't pay attention. And I really hope that they leave the mics on the whole time. That's the only reason that they're having debate issues now.
He made an absolute dick of himself in the 2016 debates with Hillary Clinton. He followed her around like a creepy weirdo, like a stalky, creepy, in the park, night vision goggles, creepy psychopathic weirdo.
How about a grown man in a teenage Miss USA pageant in the locker room? How about did he look like that? I think he looked like that.
He looked exactly like a dirty old man watching teenagers
change clothes. And this is pageant life.
He'd like to date his own daughter.
So remember the little statements, grab him by the lotus flower, that you heard? Do you think he was just talking about adults? This is y'all's man's. Y'all need to remember. He is nasty. He is flying around in Epstein's plane now.
He's flying the Lolita Express. The guy is a certified nonce-burger, and yet people are voting for him. Like, how? But we're the pedophiles. We're the groomers. Yeah. Like, how? This dude's literally convicted on 2 counts of SA already. What are you talking about? Yeah,
it's not us. Just because you don't love yourself.
That's the deep state's out to get him.
Right.
Because the deep state goes after billionaires. That's what it does. Those poor billionaires, they just get picked on left, right, and center.
I still think these hillbillies, they just really think they're just like a couple of good decisions from being rich. Donald Trump is not rich. Like, he doesn't have this wealth that everyone says he does. It is all, trust me, y'all, it's all smoke and mirrors. He couldn't even pay to get himself out of jail. That was borrowed money. Everything is borrowed. There's no
Yeah. That's the way they do it,
there.
Mikey. That is the way they do it because you have to pay tax on your earnings. Sometimes you have to pay tax on your dividends. You have to pay tax on your wealth. You don't have to pay tax on a loan, and that's why all of these billionaires take out massive loans. They don't have to pay tax on it. They can live the high life, go and play golf in the top resorts.
Where does Trump
buy
live?
buildings in downtown New York.
Where does Trump live?
He lives in Mar-a-Lago.
He living in his own workshop, y'all. The man is homeless. He does not. Trump has never had, like this big estate. He's always had like rented floors and penthouse floors of towers. The man is broke. Them floors, them places have been paid for. Mar-a-Lago has been paid for. He hasn't made $1.
Well, it's like Elon
A
Musk.
dollar.
The guy, on paper, Elon Musk should not just be bankrupt. He should be in jail, but he's not.
It's crazy. So
he's still getting people to invest in his mad projects, which result in,
Did you see he's got another NFT run?
Oh God!
They're just calling them digital trading cards now because they didn't understand how NFTs work, and they sent out, thumbnails of each one of the NFTs.
He'll make money from it.
Thus nullify.
He'll make money from it. People are so stupid. They will buy NFTs. They'll buy his digital trading cards.
That's
of pictures.
But if you're a billionaire, I'm just saying, you ever seen Elon Musk make a commercial?
Yes.
No,
he does it every day when he goes on.
No, but he's not out there selling some shit because he needs the revenue, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't need to do that because he actually has money.
He's eating the pizza the wrong way.
You don't see bands, like successful bands out there making commercials for their album. You just pick it up. Tay don't have to shoot commercials. You know what time it is. Go get your shit. It's available. Go get it right now.
You've got the curse of Pepsi. Pepsi famously got Madonna to promote their drink just before she dropped the like a prayer video, which upset a lot of people. Then they had,
but they made it up. But they made it all better because Kylie Jenner.
Michael Jackson, Kylie Jenner.
She cured police brutality.
She solved Black Lives Matter. She made
all the lives mattered.
Black Lives Matter.
They all mattered in that commercial.
Yeah, they all mattered. Who else did they pick who was bloody awful? Britney Spears. I mean, I got a lot of time for Britney Spears. I think she's been through a lot, but they literally did a deal with her, and then the next day she shaved her head. It's a curse of Pepsi.
Don't drink Pepsi.
Never do a promo for Pepsi because you don't know where you're going to end up.
It's got a track record of either techno explosions, always hair loss. It would appear.
We've got Pepsi. Is that okay? So sad. George, thank you very much for your super chat. Sorry, it's gone off the page there, but it was in there. George says, so Trump and co. is determined to take the presidency one way or another, and Americans don't care how either. Is that what it is? Do you think that people will rise up if Trump tries to steal the presidency? Because he's not going to win the popular vote. I'll tell you that now. I will stake my reputation on that. I'd stake something more valuable, but I've got no money.
Brave stand you took there, like real lead you walked out.
I've got to turn my volume down now. I'm too loud. I can't win. I get told I'm too quiet. I think I told him too loud. I can't actually hear myself. I should put the monitor on.
Republicans barely ever win the popular vote. Ever. It never happens. They have to use this bullshit cheater ass backdoor fucking electoral college to get what they need done because that's why it's still around. Because it works for them. If it worked for Democrats, they'd hate it. And this is just not working. It's not doing what it should do. The Constitution. Yeah, they would get all up in it. But what was the question you asked again? They don't
does anyone care?
So the thing is,
does anyone care? Why do I sound tinny? I don't know.
Probably got the wrong mic.
I sound tinny.
They really think that they're going to be these like. Well, I'll break it up into a couple of groups. Some of them really think that they're going to be like part of this. We have made America great again, and I'm like a little brown shirt for Trump, and I get to march around and boss people. Like some people are excited to be able to like Red Scare, narc on their neighbors that they have immigrants in their homes. And they're not going to do any research. They're not going to see if these people have lived there their whole lives. They're just going to look for brown people and harass them. And it's just going to be this whole, that's what they envision. Like, that's their goal. That's good for them. And then you got the people who are like, I'm a fiscal a conservative. No, you're not. You're just greedy. You just don't want to pay your fair tax. That's why you live here. That's why your business is set up here. That's why, because all the tax loopholes are here. I have so many friends in Europe and the UK. I want to separate those two things. And they all look at us Americans like big whiny babies.
Yeah.
Because we don't pay nearly as much as everyone else who is in a civilized country. Everyone pays more than us. Like, we would be in the streets if we had to pay that much money, and we don't. But we still complain about it all the same, which is strange. Like, our gas is the cheapest gas you could ever imagine. Like, I just paid $3.79 a gallon, which I think, what do you got? What is yours in liters over there?
In liters, and it's about £1.50.
£1. God, I got to do 2 conversions now. Somebody do the conversion for me.
Well, it's about 4 liters to the gallon or something like that, isn't it?
Okay. But either way,
volume up here. The auto gain thing that Phil has problems with when we use Google Meet has happened, and I've turned it off. The stupid automatic gain control. I've turned it off. However, it won't kick in till I restart Chrome, so you'll disappear. That's really annoying. Should we do it? Should we just do it? Because otherwise, I'm going to sound like arse for the rest of this.
Fix
show.
it.
Okay, right. Mikey's going away for a moment. You might have to dial back in or something, or maybe just stay there. I don't know.
I'll stand by.
Stand by. Stand by for. This is gonna go. The whole thing's gonna go off now. Right, I'm gonna press relaunch. Pressing it. Right, there you go. We are now relaunched. Camera starting. Hello. Okay, there we go. Hey, Mikey. Hello. I've just realised something, Mikey.
What?
You can't see me, can you?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I got this stream up.
Like. You know what I look like.
Yeah, it's all.
That was having one hell of a delay.
Yes.
Right, so hopefully now the sound will bloody stay where I put it at 85. There we go. Okay, let me know in the chat if the sound is okay now for both of us. Whether I sound tinny. That's what they say in Australia, isn't it? About a tin of beer. They call it a tinny.
Okay,
and people
I found
who
it.
Ride bikes are called bikies.
Your London gasoline, if it was sold here in the States, would be $5.79.
Wow.
So we are more than $2 below that, and and people are still upset about it. That's still their number one thing is the gas was cheaper under Trump. It's like, it's COVID, stupid. No one was driving. There was gas literally just falling out of trucks everywhere. Like, there was no one was using it. So yeah, you can have it for whatever you want. Whatever. I got tons of it.
Yeah. Jane says we are paying £6.30 per gallon in Yorkshire. Oof. I'm not. We've got an electric car. We charge it up at our house, and it costs £3 to charge, and that gets us to Liverpool.
Sheesh. I'm a little upset that we couldn't have the $14,000 brand new Chinese electric vehicles. Those were blocked.
Were they blocked by the Biden administration?
Oh yeah, they said nope, can't have them. I'm like, oh come on, dude, I can't afford the rest of them.
Yeah, exactly. They're so expensive. We need some cheap,
easily
knockoffs.
Like, I think the cheapest Tesla they're trying to put out, like, I don't even think they finished making, like, the economy model was supposed to be like 45, but like a cheap something else is like 60.
Cheap. That's not cheap.
The SUV is $200,000.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess me and my family will just get a horse. That is the only way we're going to be able to travel if that's how we have to green ourselves around and get a buggy.
It is quite ridiculous. Although there is a problem with people buying cheap Chinese electric cars, and then when the company goes out of business, the cars just brick because they're all the run on software which needs updating, and then once the company's not there to update it anymore, you've got a very expensive brick.
Sounds like somebody will be I hear what you're saying, but YouTube has taught me, fuck that shit. Somebody will they will jailbreak the shit out of that car.
They will. They will.
They were
Absolutely.
stealing Kias with a goddamn USB connector. They
Yes.
will fix.
They'll sort it out.
Drop them all off in the hood. We'll figure it out.
Apparently, the new electric Dacia, I think that's the way it's pronounced, is £14,000. That's not bad.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not bad. BYD 200% tariff in Canada too, for BYD,
Right.
the Chinese company.
Right. They're saying, no, sir, you're not coming in here.
That is mad, isn't it? 200% tariff. Jesus Christ.
They're like Trump did that with fucking corn and food and stuff with China.
Yeah.
And we saw how beautifully that went. Stuff like this, where it's like strategic, where like we have just increased the requirements that all of the car companies in America, like they have to meet certain federal levels. Like, for example, like your SUV, like as a whole, your line needs to make 40 miles per gallon on average.
Yeah.
And have this many things, and every car must have these safety features. Like that's where seatbelts and all those, like you need to have these little yellow indicators on this thing. It must be these, all of those rules. So when all those rules change, most of the time it's the car industry that's like, oh, we hate having to do all this stuff. Well, now they're doing it to preserve them, because they are still keeping up that the fleets need to start being switched over to electric, and that $14,000 Chinese car was not going to make that any easier for them when they're literally being forced to push out cars to make us greener. So.
But this is the thing, like the green revolution is going to happen. And the more obstacles the government's put in the way of it happening, it's so counterproductive to the goal of getting to net zero, which is what we're supposed to want. It's almost as though the oil companies have got a disproportionate amount of power over world governments. Almost as though they were some kind of Illuminati or some kind of, shadowy deep state that was telling governments around the world, including the American government, what to do. And what they do almost always benefits these particular big multinational corporations that are destroying the planet. We've got a question that's come in, just to go back to what we were talking about earlier about the race to the White House. Puninator asks, thoughts on Harris's running mate, Tim Waltz? From this side of the pond, he seems a bigger threat to Trump so far.
A bigger threat to Trump. He is kind of, I think I said this on the bin. Check out the bin podcast. They did a good job picking somebody that complements the strategy of the campaign. Yeah. So the strategy of the campaign is, well, the opponent is a bully. Right. And he's a loudmouth, and he likes to insult people. And that's how he wins, is he just gets people in their feelings and they panic and then they say stupid stuff. That's his thing. Well, the only way to really dismantle a bully without, unbullying his face is to make him a clown. Make him look weak.
Yes.
Make him look strange. Make him look.
This is the Mel Brooks defense, isn't it? Where he said, why are you dressing up as Nazis? And he said, because you disarm them by making fun of them. It's the best way to destroy their stupid ideology. If you just say these people are dangerous, it attracts certain people, gives them power.
It implies some level of danger or respect or authority that they might not actually which may not actually need to be attributed to them. So when you talk about him like an old criminal who keeps trying to sell weird books and online trading cards, he's like, and then there's got this little crypto guy who keeps, I don't know, he's like eyelinering all day, something about a couch. Like that is a very different thing than these are the two heads of Project 2025. And it's the way you frame it. So Tim Walz is perfect.
He's the only one of the four who doesn't wear makeup.
And him walking around in flannels and stuff like that, like that's everybody's, like he's got real driveway dad energy. You're going down on your bike and then like your chain pops off. He's like, those Walmart bikes come over here. And then he gets out the spanner and he gets you all fixed up. And then he, hey, you want a Coke? And then Like that's the memories that he brings up when people just see him without knowing anything about him. Like the neighborhood dad.
Yeah.
Vance is, come on, guy. Like the beard, like why are you trying to be Don Jr.? It's weird. Stop trying. Did you know his real the JD? It's Jonathan.
He changed it.
Donald.
It was Donald, and he changed it to David.
I'm calling him J Donnie from now on.
So
I want him to know.
How is it that these bigots and transphobes are allowed to change their name? Like J.K. Rowling can give herself a man's name and call herself Robert Galbraith, but she doesn't want anyone else doing that.
No, I'm calling. What's her real name? Jacqueline.
Joanne.
Yeah, Joey. Listen, Joey, we ain't playing no games with you no more. All of y'all are getting, now that y'all are fully on the transphobe train, I'm calling all of you, Rafael Cruz, I'm looking at you too. All of y'all getting your real names out here. Your governments are coming out. Tired of the shit. Picking on my friends like that. I got y'all. Don't y'all worry about it. I'm on them. All right.
Sfax is saying, is it just me, or it seems like Harris is getting rapid media interaction course? Like, is she getting a crash course in how to deal with the media, which he never really accomplished very well before? And people are talking about the fact that she's done really well. I mean, she was quite popular when she was elected vice president, but within just a few months, she'd sort of blown that, and people didn't really know what she was doing, what she stood for. They didn't really see her very much in the news, I guess. I mean, I don't think I saw it in the news at all until she suddenly running for president.
But that's strategy. Trump and them have to figure out what she's going to say for the debate. Yeah, she waited because that's less and less time that they have to prep old slippery teeth. That's less time that they have to prep for him, which he needs every minute he can get of prep time. Unfortunately, guys, sometimes they have to do strategy in this stuff. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. I'm too blunt of a person to run for president, because I would just be out there cussing. I'd just be cussing everybody out, telling everybody what needs to happen, and making a general ass of myself. Sometimes you got to listen to the strategists who have really been nailing almost every single cue here. Like, they haven't really missed anything. It may look a little funny on this side of it, but there are other moving parts that we don't see. I'm not saying have faith. I'm saying it looks like they're letting Trump walk himself into a bad debate performance to completely deflate him.
Yes. Well, that's the hope, isn't it?
And the best thing they can do to make sure that happens is to let him keep running his mouth.
Yeah.
Don't give him anything to say about, because if you don't fight back with him, he doesn't know what to say, so he starts making shit up. Like, I'm gonna give IVF to everybody. Like, he just let him talk. Just stand there and look at him, and he can't deal with the silence, and he just starts burying himself.
Mikey, this IVF thing. So, because obviously Project 2025 wants to take IVF treatment away from wannabe parents, and it has been taken away already in the state of, is it Alabama, where IVF clinics are terrified that they'll be taken to court for destroying fetuses, because now a fetus is a real human being with just as many rights as a fully grown adult human being. Is this a response to that? He's just gone, no, actually, no, I want everyone to have IVF. Well, what's he said?
He's stupid. He forgot. Like, he forgot what the card is. You know what I mean? Like, he's forgotten what the line was. He's messed up. Yeah. That's not his stance, but he said it real loud. Like, the evangelicals don't mess with IVF. That's not okay with them, because they think all of those embryos that are later implanted, each one of those is a spirit, soul.
I've never heard this before, thing. You know. Mm-hmm. This is like really a weird thing that they
mean conception. Like, they mean it.
Wow. So
yeah.
But even if it's in a test tube, I mean,
yeah. So if it's literally one egg, one sperm, baby, technically right then, that is a baby. Even if it's like doesn't take, even if it doesn't mature, even if it doesn't develop, doesn't matter. That was a baby. And I've seen people have like long, lengthy funerals for all types of stages of things. These people believe conception is conception. Like, that is their worldview. And him saying IVF is just spits right in the face. And then JD Vance, I think it was on CNN or Fox or something like that. He had to try to clean it up. And because Florida is having a vote on it, and he's a Florida resident now. So as a Florida resident, he's voting antithetical to what his presidential campaign is, because they want a 6-week ban, which is way before most women even know that they're pregnant.
Yeah. And because the pregnancy is based on your last period, so you might have only had sex 2 weeks earlier, and that's it. You're not allowed to have an abortion.
Yeah.
So it is just I mean, it's that'd be an extreme case, but it can happen. But as I say again and again on this channel, it doesn't affect the rich. If you're rich, you can fly to another country and have an abortion. You can get your daughter to fly to another country and have an abortion. Like, doesn't matter. None of these rules. You want IVF? Go to Sweden, Switzerland, somewhere else, Swaziland, Eswatini. Go get some IVF somewhere where it's legal. It's fine for you. You can do that. Mm-hmm. There's a great episode of South Park where it's a piss take of Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer, and Cartman becomes like a teacher in a community college or something, talking to all the kids who are the troubled youth, and he points out that white people just cheat all the time. They just cheat. They don't pay tax. They wouldn't need an abortion. They just go and get one. They just cheat.
I mean, the rules are there for people who can't afford to break them.
Yes. Yeah, they absolutely are. If you get a parking fine and it's literally half your wages for that week, then that's devastating. If you get a parking fine and that's
your fault.
Change, it's pocket change because you're a multi-billionaire. Who cares? Who cares about 30 quid? It's nothing.
They just park sideways in the middle of the street. Tow it. I don't care. I'll have another one brought out to me. It doesn't, like, there are, and that builds on the thing. I don't understand why broke white people love Trump as if he has done nothing but thought this way about them and talked this way about them his entire media existence. He's never been like one of the dudes at the bar and he doesn't drink. He thinks it's stupid to drink. He doesn't go in the army. He thinks idiots go to the army. He thinks his personal Vietnam was avoiding STDs in the 80s. He was fucking married with kids. Like, this guy is a fucking idiot. Like, he's a giant loser on every single American level of masculinity and what it means to be an American man. He fails every single category, and they can't get enough of him because he insults Mexicans. So America is not so much into Trump. They're just really racist.
I saw a meme today, and it was, Oasis, the British band, have reformed. There was a meme that was going around. Boy. It says, the reunion we got, and it was the lads from Oasis, and then the reunion we wanted, and it was Trump with his first wife, Ivana, who's since passed away. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. And see, the thing is, no one even talks about him getting shot at anymore.
No
one even cares.
That was pushed off the news agenda so quickly.
The couch thing, the JD couch thing buried it.
Yeah, this was a lie that someone made up on Twitter. They made up a fake passage from JD Vance's book, A Hillbilly Elegy or whatever it's called, saying that he said that he had sex with the couch, and he didn't. And that was not in the book. And then the Associated Press had to put out a headline saying he'd not had sex with a couch, and then they had to delete it because they couldn't prove that he hadn't had sex with a couch. Who's to say? Maybe he has. Who knows?
They're not definitive on it.
Can't go definitive on that one. Captain Bart Robert says, I worked in an abortion clinic. I wandered into work one morning to discover a defrocked Catholic priest chained to our operating table. What? I see. So, like, a Catholic priest had chained himself to the operating table so that no abortions could be carried out. Wow, that is a what the actual flying fuck is that? Yeah.
All of these people had learned science.
Yes,
if only.
Indeed. Svax is asking, and this is something that I wanted to ask about, because I this is what I assume. Svax is saying it's the whole IVF issue an accident. Like, they realised that it can blow up in their face, this life starts argument, and just decided to double down. I mean, because I've not heard this before. I've not seen evangelists picket. I've seen them picket abortion centres and family planning centres, but I haven't seen them going after IVF clinics. I've not seen that happen before. Is this a new thing, or is it just wasn't covered?
They don't agree with it. Like, it's not like of this like I wouldn't say modern Christian movie, but like the little theocracy game that they're running right now, it's very fundamentalist, especially when it comes to women's bodies. Yeah, they do it all the time. And they'll talk about, they'll say, oh, yes, we even had to have a little help from the doctor to bring old Jessica around. Like, they'll talk about, but they say, oh, yeah, we just went one time and it worked perfectly. Like, they don't reveal it's their like little obvious lie that they all tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not going to vote for everybody to have it. They don't appreciate it. They don't like it. And especially now that there was that accident where the embryos were dropped, and that's what led to this whole a recursion of it back into the public discourse. But they because what happens to all those extra ones? It's like the stem cells. Like, they just like, nope, that's a human. Nope, that's a human. Nope, all humans. But then as soon as the human is born, just put it in the gutter with the rest of the brown ones, right? Like, it's just like they don't care about anybody. They won't pass any kind of common sense gun legislation. Like, we can't get anything to preserve the children or to feed the children, like Tim Walz has been doing in Minnesota, making sure that the kids get breakfast and lunch. The fact that he had to bogart his way through a bunch of Republicans to make sure that the kids were eating.
Yeah.
What the hell are y'all so proud of that you were trying to fight the Democrats on everything? What the hell are you trying to preserve?
Well, the border thing blows my mind. The Democrats and the Republicans have come to an agreement that was going to go through the House, a bipartisan deal to deal with the number of people coming across the border from Mexico illegally, I guess. It's like the numbers coming into the UK pale in comparison. It was 3 million people came last year. It is an enormous number of people to be in your country and you not to know who any of them are. I understand to some extent that
but that's not true.
Issue.
But that's not true. Just because people are asylum seekers or they're undocumented, people know who they are. They're family members. They're all applying for different levels of things here and there. This image that there's just like, little huts being set up along the sides of roads because this is how bad it's come with it. That's not what's happening. These people have family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if these people don't have family, they're applying for asylum. They're trying to get their stuff going. They have to go through, I think that was part of the legislation or part of that border deal that the Republicans shot down was getting more judges because if you are fleeing the cartel, you can seek asylum in America. That is legal. So when you get here and seek asylum, you should go before an asylum court. That is legal.
Yeah, we have a similar issue here with courts just not being able to keep up with the caseload.
So that was part of the deal, was to open up some of that funding again so that they can actually get people.
Trump put the kibosh on this because he wanted to be the person to say during the election, I'm going to stop all these people coming over from the border, from the southern border. And it's
I want to do it.
He's got no interest in the best interests of America. George Shaw's makes a very good point, and also is giving us the super chat. That's very kind of you. Thank you. It doesn't make sense for people to vote for Trump. And it doesn't make sense to people who care about the world, care about America, care about anything, care about humanity.
George, you make a great point, and let me make it even pointier. Who the hell votes for their boss to get a raise and for them to ban pornography? All in the same vote.
Yeah.
What moron gives their boss a raise and bans porn? All in the same vote. And then
Project 2025 wants to ban porn, by the way.
And they want to puff their chests out about it. It's so strange. It's so strange.
Yeah.
But they all have supermodel wives at home. I'm sorry. That's why they don't have, any pictures online. They just shit post all day,
We've got Vendetta claiming that the assassination attempt on Trump was staged. I don't think it was. I think that kid was was nuts. He was out to shoot someone famous, and Trump came to his town, and he went, "I'll try and take him out." Wasn't a very good shot. He missed, and the rest is history. But I do love the fact that everyone
So
stopped talking about it within a week because someone made up on Twitter that JD Vance fucked the couch.
So here's the conspiracy theory that you can be a part of without being a complete lunatic. I believe that kid shot into the crowd for sure, because the firefighter behind him definitely deceased. Like, right, that's not fake. We're not saying that's fake. We're saying, yo, I don't think he got hit. You know what I mean?
Well, those
are two different claims, right? Like, I'm not saying that the shooting
got hit, and he got hit by a bit of shrapnel off that.
That's what I'm. Or man, like a lot of my friends, like professional wrestling, like the WWE, and they're just like, yo, that looks like a cut job. And you saw that how they did like the football scrum over the top of him.
He just put his hand up to his ear and. No, I don't think they'll go that far, because what's the point?
They put the Band-Aid on there for like 10 weeks.
He was riding high before that. I mean, if Biden hadn't dropped out, he was cast iron, copper bottom. He was going to win that election.
Man, they was about to put a cast on that ear.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
It was X-raying it. Yeah, it was doing. Ain't nobody touched it. And then the ear looks identical to how it was before. We went to
No, it was just a scratch. It was just a scratch.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, I'm saying the shooting was real. I'm saying him trying to act like he's this survivor of a bullet wound.
Apparently,
it's just not the case. You didn't get shot like Reagan. Reagan took it to the chest from a revolver.
I think he's got PTSD. He's watching footage of the assassination attempt over and over again. Yoni, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. His ear healed very fast, even for a reptilian. There you go.
I think the ear just drops off, and then another one pops up in its place. As long as they get enough.
His hands are so small because he lost his hand, and
he has to keep grow back. Growing.
Yeah, and that's why it's always in this like little
like Men in Black.
Yeah. Like Deadpool. With his little baby arm.
He keeps breaking his hands.
Yeah. Dark 4x4. I also have a push bike that can do 60 miles an hour. Cages and mopeds are constantly calling me XYZ and tried to run me off the road. Bye. I don't know what that means. Okay. Vendetta saying, never said it was fake. I said it's more likely to be staged. You find a nutter who wants to be famous. Promise that. We've crossed fingers. Too many things go wrong. It's too dangerous.
Can't trust him. He'll
give someone a gun and then say, shoot at the guy who wants to be president, but make sure that you miss.
Well, and the other part of it is that probably wouldn't have happened if his Secret Service had picked up their goddamn walkie-talkies from the local PD. They were supposed to pick up those walkie-talkies a week beforehand, and they refused to do so because they weren't in town. They didn't want to come and do the thing. So then day of, they also didn't pick them up. So they had no communication, no 3-minute warning from the local PD that there's a guy on the roof with a friggin' gun. Like, they were warned, but it didn't happen because they're incompetent. So the staging thing, probably not. It's just general incompetence all the way. But I just want to, I do want him to feel like the smallest man.
Yeah.
For barely getting shot, claiming that he's divinely blessed. Meanwhile, the dude's family is behind you, bereft. And he's over there like, oh, man, sure am divine, aren't I? That bullet went right past me. It's like, how big of a monster? How big of a monster do you have to be to still take that moment to make it about yourself?
Yeah.
Just think about it.
There you go. Listen, we're going to have to wrap it up there. Mikey, thank you so much for joining us. Will you be around on Friday, by any chance? Friday afternoon?
I can't promise anything.
For the social with old Wayne. In Basildon. Yeah, I hope so.
I think I have the cold that day.
You washing your hair?
It's hair day.
It's hair day.
It should be hair day.
Well, the channel will be back in the morning. We've got Phil Morehouse, who's now happily married. So he'll have to change his surname now. And he'll be here at 9:30. So thanks very much for the chat. Thanks for the super chat. Big thank you to Mikey Famine over in Chicago. And until next time, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.